Flynn vibes, you look at... Okay. Now it's time for the...
Ruby Rose has come forward with deeply troubling allegations against Katy Perry, sharing graphic details on X that describe an alleged assault. What makes these claims particularly significant is that following Ruby's public statement, numerous old clips have resurfaced, showing Katy Perry in situations where she appeared to cross physical boundaries, lending additional weight to the accusations. Ruby provided extensive details about the incident, and the situation has rapidly evolved beyond just social media posts into what appears to be a serious legal matter with far-reaching implications.
I thought I was the most hated person on the internet. I think that's false. You showed up on a Monday night? Are you good?
Katy Perry's public image has already taken hits over the past 18 months, starting with her space-themed performance attempt and continuing through her tour, which, despite positive reviews from actual attendees, became the subject of widespread mockery online due to viral clips highlighting moments many found extremely cringeworthy. The internet seized on these moments, creating a narrative around her performances being painfully awkward, and now these new allegations add a much darker dimension to the scrutiny she's facing.
This one is really a throwaway. Everybody knows this video. I gotta see you, boo, and it's hearts all over the world tonight. Yeah, there's hearts all over the world tonight. Gotta see you, boo, and it's hearts all over the world tonight.
The allegations stem from an incident at Coachella, where Katy Perry was filmed watching Justin Bieber's performance and commenting that she was relieved he didn't have ads running on his YouTube videos, which he was using during his set. Ruby Rose saw this clip posted on social media and responded with a shocking account, explaining that while she appreciates Katy saving her at a Melbourne nightclub years ago, she needed to speak out about what she describes as woman-on-woman violence and assault. Ruby explained that speaking about female predators feels exponentially harder than discussing male ones, at least in her personal experience, and she detailed an incident where Katy allegedly exposed herself and made unwanted physical contact with her face while she was resting on a friend's lap, causing her to vomit. She later reframed this story publicly as a humorous drunken mishap because she didn't know how to process what happened, and she remained silent, partly because Katy agreed to help with her US visa application, though she maintains she did warn people that Katy wasn't a good person and received backlash for it. Ruby clarified in follow-up posts that she has no intention of filing an official report specifically about this incident, especially since she hasn't reported other assaults by men, but she maintains that Katy is welcome to sue her because the incident happened in public with witnesses and photographic evidence. She also hinted at additional psychological manipulation that occurred in the years leading up to Katy's song, though she noted that Katy did write recommendation letters for her visa application in the 2010s. Katy Perry's representative issued a statement to TMZ categorically denying the allegations, calling them dangerously reckless lies, and pointing to Ruby Rose's history of making serious public allegations against various individuals that have been denied by those named, though this defense feels somewhat circular, since anyone accused of wrongdoing, guilty or innocent, typically issues denials. The situation intensified when another individual came forward on social media, claiming that at the same event in 2010 where Ruby's incident allegedly occurred, Katy Perry also touched her inappropriately during a photo, placing her hand on her pubic area, and that later that night, a friend complained about being groped by the same person. This person said they were told Ruby Rose was sick outside and never came in, but Ruby confirmed she believes it was the same night based on outfit photos she has stored on a hard drive, explaining that she didn't actually enter the venue because she had just vomited on Katy and immediately went home, and that the next day she was so shaken she could barely deliver a speech at a marriage equality protest. Ruby has since announced she can no longer publicly discuss these allegations because she finalized all her reports that afternoon, and police requested she cease public commentary on the cases and individuals involved, which she views as a relief that allows her to begin healing. And this development confirms that official police reports have been filed and the matter has entered the legal system.
Okay. She just does that?
These allegations are horrifying in their specificity, particularly the description of forced contact that resulted in vomiting, and they raise important questions about how assaults within the LGBTQ community are often dismissed or not taken as seriously as they should be. Members of this community frequently face exploitation and boundary violations from people who believe they can act with impunity due to their perceptions of that community. And the situation is especially disturbing given that Katy Perry released a song called "I Kissed a Girl," which positioned her as at minimum an ally. Yet these allegations suggest she may have believed that gave her license to violate consent in egregious ways. The hypocrisy of presenting yourself as supportive of a community while allegedly taking advantage of members of that community in such a vile manner is absolutely repulsive, and while these remain allegations that haven't been proven in court, the specificity and corroboration from others present that night, combined with Ruby's willingness to involve law enforcement, suggests this isn't a frivolous claim.
This was an unplanned moment, and I want to stay right here. Paint the scene. So you're standing still and Katy Perry walks by?
What's particularly interesting is that once these allegations surfaced, a pattern emerged through resurfaced footage showing Katy Perry repeatedly crossing physical boundaries with other celebrities. Justin Bieber, who was thrust into fame at an extremely young age and has been subject to numerous documented instances of adults behaving inappropriately toward him. Whether through the P. Diddy connections, the Kim Kardashian cougar photoshoot, or various incidents of groping and inappropriate jokes captured on camera, also had an uncomfortable interaction with Katy Perry that was caught on video. In this clip, Katy appears to overstep boundaries with the young singer in a manner that, viewed through the lens of these new allegations, takes on a more disturbing significance and fits into a broader pattern of behavior where she seemingly doesn't understand or respect the concept of consent. Anna Kendrick also has a resurfaced interview from a late-night talk show where she recounted Katy Perry sticking her finger in her cleavage, presumably at a red carpet event, and while Anna made an unfortunate joke about her dress asking for it, which absolutely doesn't land well in our current understanding of consent and victim blaming, she clearly stated this happened without her permission and characterized Katy as aggressive, describing this behavior as just Katy's thing. This account adds yet another layer to the disturbing pattern because it shows Katy engaging in unwanted touching with someone who was uncomfortable but tried to laugh it off, and the fact that this was treated as just part of Katy's personality, rather than inappropriate behavior, speaks to how celebrities often get away with boundary violations that would be unacceptable from anyone else. Whether or not people believe Ruby Rose's allegations, the claim is extraordinarily specific and detailed in a way that would require remarkable creative writing abilities to fabricate, and the thought of someone actually doing what she described is genuinely nauseating and represents violation on an entirely different level from most assault accounts. Ruby suggested she initially stayed quiet partly because Katy helped with her visa, which creates a dynamic where the person who allegedly assaulted her also did her a significant favor, and sometimes perpetrators deliberately create these situations so they can later point to their kindness as evidence they couldn't possibly have done something horrible, giving them leverage if their actions are ever exposed. Many people fundamentally lack accountability for their actions, and when we see multiple instances of Katy Perry being inappropriate captured on video, it points to someone who genuinely doesn't understand consent, as evidenced by at least 2 clear examples where she crossed boundaries in ways that constitute assault, regardless of her celebrity status or the gender of those involved. The fact that a simple video of Katy Perry making a dismissive joke about ads during Justin Bieber's Coachella performance somehow triggered Ruby Rose to finally speak publicly about alleged assault from years ago shows how unpredictable these revelations can be, but it also demonstrates that victims often carry these experiences for years before finding the right moment or sufficient courage to come forward. The situation has evolved rapidly from social media posts to official police reports, indicating this isn't just internet drama, but a serious legal matter that will likely continue developing, and the resurfaced clips showing a pattern of boundary violations suggest there may be more victims who haven't yet spoken up. This could very well be the beginning of a domino effect where additional people feel empowered to share their own experiences with Katy Perry, especially if multiple incidents occurred at the same event, raising the question of how many others have similar stories they've kept quiet about until now. And whatever happens next will certainly be worth following as this case proceeds through whatever legal channels Ruby Rose has initiated.